is the list of what you can't do rather longer than the list of what you can do?
Yeah, one would have said that, although I've just been speaking to Mark Roberts, the man who's kind of leading the British policing operation, and he was very keen to stress that we shouldn't be scaremongering about what you can and can't do. I spoke to representatives from the Welsh FA, from the Welsh Fans Associations, and I said, what happens if there's a goal scored? Are you allowed to hug someone? And they said, well, trust me, if there's a goal scored, you won't be able to stop us, especially if it's against the English. So it's easy to get carried away with this and to think, well, we can't celebrate goals, we won't be able to hug each other. So it's about striking that balance between what you can do and what you can't do. In terms of what the Foreign Office had to say, we heard from David Clay, the head of Gulf operations, just behind me, and he was talking about the targeted communications that will be sent to all fans travelling from both England and Wales ahead of the tournament, which is only, just over 2.5 weeks away now, and they're talking about being culturally aware of your surroundings and about being respectful of Qatari culture, because where you're going, you can't simply pull your shirt off after the game and march down the street singing songs, etc. So they're very keen to stress that, to listen to the advice that they're giving, both from them and from the police themselves. In terms of the policing operation, 1,300 banning orders are in force in terms of stopping known hooligans from travelling over there. There's about 7,000 fans from England and Wales that they're expecting in Qatar. And in terms of the policing operation over there, we're told that Pakistan has signed a deal with Qatar, so Pakistani police will be used inside the stadiums as a kind of private security force, with Turkish police leading the operation on behalf of the Qatari authorities, because of course Qatar is a tiny, tiny country and it's going to be swamped with 1.2 million people. So media representatives, fans, players, coaches, there's going to be a lot of people inside a very small area. There's going to be a huge policing operation in force, and so the Turkish authorities will be there. And don't forget, Turkish authorities very used to dealing with, shall we put it, fervent football fans. When you look at the Istanbul derbies between clubs like Fenerbahce, Galatasaray and Besiktas, so they're experienced in dealing with football hooligans. They've been briefed by British counterparts here about what to expect from British football fans here, but yeah, there's going to be a huge operation in place.
And Paul, what have they said about alcohol?
Alcohol will only be consumed basically in hotel bars and the designated fan zones. This isn't going to be about those kind of familiar scenes that we're used to, Mark, at previous World Cups, at previous Euros. Fans in cafes, in the squares and the plazas, kind of drinking beers. None of that. This is going to be in designated fan zones only. It's going to be very expensive to drink, or in hotel bars, and security will be very, very tight. So the authorities are saying that once we start issuing this advice, these kind of 6 core messages that will be coming out about how to behave when you're in Qatar, listen to them, follow the advice. There will be a beefed up British consulate presence in Qatar to handle anything that does happen, if there are any arrests, etc. But listen to the advice and be respectful of the culture in Qatar.